let us welcome আরেফ আলী ভাই।
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
তাহলে আমার কোশ্চেনটা এরকম, পিপল ম্যানেজমেন্টের জন্য একটা বড় ক্রাইটেরিয়া হচ্ছে ডেলিগেশন অফ জবস টু আদার পিপল, তার মানে অন্যকে ডেলিগেট করা। এবং এটা কি খুব সহজ নাকি খুব ডিফিকাল্ট? কারণ আমি দেখেছি অনেক সিইও আছে তারা খুব মাইক্রো ম্যানেজ করে, অন্যকে ডেলিগেট করতে পারে না। আবার কেউ কেউ আছে যে না, খুব নাইসলি ডেলিগেট করতেছে। সেক্ষেত্রে আপনি কোনটাকে মানে ভালো বলবেন, বা কি হওয়া দরকার একজন সিইওর জন্য?
No, thank you very much, Bhaia. The answer is it depends, right? One size does not fit all approach. Basically, আপনি যদি আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করেন আমার ম্যানেজমেন্ট স্টাইল কি, then I will say it depends. It depends. The reason it depends is that it's a two-folded, right? আপনার একটা হচ্ছে কি আমি যার সঙ্গে ডিল করছি সে কিভাবে how that person works the best, right? Some people they are very good at if you give them some idea, they can take it and run with it, right? আপনি একটা ছোট একটা আইডিয়া দিলেন, একটা ব্রেইনস্টর্ম করলেন, that's all they need. They can go run with that idea, come up with a solution, or come up with a draft of something, right? Another person need a lot more detail. তাকে অনেক detail information দিতে হয় আপনি, and you may have to touch base a lot more every few hours or every few days, right? So it will depend on the person that you're working with, right? So that's why it's so hard. That's why it's a learned. A CEO has to learn not about themselves. They definitely need to know about themselves, but they also need to know the person that they're dealing with, what type of communication they like, right? Do they like no one really likes micromanaging, but do they like parameters? Do they like a guidance? Do they like a frequent touch base, right? So those will dictate your management style. Some people don't. Some people don't need it at all. So that's why it gets harder. Delegating এর মধ্যে আমার একটা আছে যে আমরা we use the word delegate. Delegate does not mean আপনি একজনকে একটা কাজ দিয়ে দিলেন and then you walk away. You have to also give them the tools and the support to be successful on that one. And it will depend upon the project, and it will depend upon the person, right? So if there's a tight deadline, I may be very, very hands-on. I may need a status update every hour or so, right? But so that's why the answer is complicated and depends. But it's a learned behavior, though. So আপনি যেটা বললেন যে আমি আগেও করতাম যে আপনার whether leaders are born or created, right, or made. It's a combination of both, right? A person can be better at delegating. It is something that you can actually learn to get better at it.
থ্যাংক ইউ। আচ্ছা, এই যে আমরা বললাম যে ডেলিগেশন, এবং এটা করতে গেলে আপনি বললেন যে নিজেকে জানতে হবে এবং অন্যকেও জানতে হবে। তো এখানে আমার একটা কোশ্চেন, যে অনেক সময় আমার সেলফ অ্যাওয়ারনেস বলতে একটা ব্যাপার থাকে, তো এটা নিয়ে যদি আপনি বলেন, তো হোয়াট ইজ সেলফ অ্যাওয়ারনেস অ্যান্ড হাউ ইট হেল্পস টু লেটস সে রান এ কোম্পানি?
Thank you very much for the question. আপনার ছোটবেলা পড়ে, right? Know thyself. হাজার বছর আগে, so that's what it is. Know thyself. আপনাকে নিজের strength, নিজের weaknesses, কোন এরিয়াটা আমি ভালো, কোন এরিয়াটা আমার improve করতে হবে, you have to analyze that, right? So that's where the self-awareness comes from, especially the CEO. Most CEO, because CEO usually have a pattern, right? So very, very driven, very confident. They believe they know everything, right? And these are all good things. I'm not saying anything bad. These are all good things, right? আপনি কিছু বলার আগে, আপনি শেষ করার আগে আমি বলে দিব, right? So those are some of the characteristics of a CEO. So self-awareness is one thing that, say, for example, if a person আপনি যখন একটা কোয়েশ্চেন করছেন, কথা বলছেন, আপনি দেখবেন কিছু মানুষ আপনাকে শেষ করার চান্স না দিয়ে তারা তাড়াতাড়ি বলে যাচ্ছে, so that's a bad behavior, right? Once you're aware of that, you can actually rectify that behavior. You can change that behavior. The minute you know it, that, oh shoot, I'm doing it, I need to listen, so I need to just keep my mouth shut. I need to let somebody else talk, and I will ask that question later on. If I forget the questions, fine, I can reach out to them later on, right? So self-awareness is definitely, that's what the self-awareness means, right? Again, আপনি যেটা বলছিলেন যে do we need to be good at financials? Sure you do, but if you're not, then as long as you're aware of it, then you can have someone help you with that, right? If you're not aware of it, and আপনি যদি নাই জানেন যে আপনি এটা সম্বন্ধে আপনার জ্ঞান নাই, আমরা এখানে অনেক সময় বলে থাকি what I don't know, that really doesn't apply for a CEO. If you don't know that, it's your job to know. If your job to know, at least you have to know what you don't know, right? So that way you can acquire the knowledge or have an expert or advisor to help you with that. So that's where the self-awareness comes from. To do that is সেজন্য আপনি দেখবেন যে যারা good leaders, they keep note, আপনার ডায়েরি রাখে, for what you're doing is at the end of the day or at the end of the week, you're kind of reflecting what you went through today, what I did today, and what could I have done better yesterday, right? So and motivation will be to be a better person next day, right? So if you keep those things intentional, you already have halfway there, right? The rest is you just have to practice.
থ্যাংক ইউ। আচ্ছা, আমরা তো সেলফ অ্যাওয়ারনেস নিয়ে কথা বললাম, এখন একটু এমপ্যাথি নিয়ে কথা বলি। সো আমরা সো হোয়াট ইজ এমপ্যাথি, এটা যদি আগে জানতে চাই।
জি, এমপ্যাথিটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে আপনার একটা ইয়েতে you have to put yourself in that situation, right, to understand what's going on. A good example will be if you have a good employee, they were working great, and all of a sudden their work standards is going down and down, right? So what we do, traditional management style will be, আমরা তাকে probation বলবো, আমরা তাকে ধমক দিব বা এসব করব. Instead of doing that, let's sit down and talk to them what's going on, what's causing their challenges. They may have, who knows, they may have family issues, they may have financial issues, they may have sickness going on, right? So there could be a lot of those things. So open to that, right? Be empathetic to that person's need, right? So just because I can work 10 hours a day doesn't mean that other people will have to do the same, right? That the circumstances are different, right?
আমি যদি কোশ্চেন করি যে how important to be empathetic to your customers, to your employees for building a successful startups, এবং এটা কি আরেকটা কারণ টু বি এ সিইও? কারণ সিইও যদি এমপ্যাথেটিক হয় তাহলে দেখা যাবে যে সে হয়তো কাজটাকে ডেলিগেট করতে পারবে, and definitely I believe that an empathetic person is also a kind of self-aware, probably, right? Your turn, please.
Yes, definitely. So let's go back to the definition of customer, right? So customer, অনেক সময় আমরা বলি যে যারা বাইরের মানুষকে আমরা ভাবি যে customer. So you have both internal customer and external customer, right? Internal customer is your employee. They're also customer, right? They expect something from you, right? They expect a safe environment to work, fair pay, work-life balance. So those becomes part of your customer too. So you cannot sacrifice your employees, আপনার ওদেরকে sacrifice করে আপনার বাইরের কাস্টমারকে স্যাটিসফাই করতে, it's not going to work, right? So you have to work within that scope.
আচ্ছা, এখন শেষ করার আগে আমরা যদি আপনার কাজ সম্বন্ধে একটু জানতে চাই, যে আমি যতটুকু জানি আপনি রিসেন্টলি একটা সফটওয়্যার টুল তৈরি করার চেষ্টা করছেন, যেটা দিয়ে নাকি আর্লি স্টেজ বা ইয়াং এন্টারপ্রেনাররা তাদের বিজনেসের যে হিসাবগুলো, প্রফিট লস বা আরওআই কিভাবে বের করতে হয়, ক্যাশ ফ্লো এটসেট্রা, যেন খুব কুইকলি তারা বের করতে পারে। এটা নিয়ে যদি খুব সংক্ষেপে কিছু বলেন।
Sure, thank you. Thank you for the time. আপনার What we are building is an assessment tool. You can use it for various different area. One startup can use that whether they're ready, right? It will go through at a format মতন থাকবে, very structured way. It will go and ask you different questions about your business, about your idea, about your customer, about your product, about your value proposition. So it's going to go through a laundry list of questions, and it is a lot of questions because if you think about it, we are talking about your passion, we are talking about your business idea. So we have to ask you a lot of questions, and that it will touch your customer, product, your process, technology, it will financial. So it will touch every areas of a business, and then it will rank you based on your answer where you are at. So based on that, you can tell how clear you are about your business. So it will help you to kind of polish your areas areas that you're not so good at, areas that you haven't been able to answer those questions. It will help you to identify those so you can go and fix it, right? So that's a tool that we are building, and startup can use it, a company's ongoing company can use it. You can use it within the company with multiple different leaders can use it, so they can kind of see whether they're in alignment or not. We believe this will revolutionize how we help others, and it will be cost effective because it will be done in such a way that people can afford it. We want to make sure that we help and reach to the maximum people that we can.
থ্যাংক ইউ আরব ভাই। আমার মনে হয় আমরা খুব ভালো ডিসকাশন করেছি, and we have learned a lot of things from your expertise. Thank you again.
Thank you, Air. Thank you for having me. This was great talking to you. I know it took a long time for us to get in touch, but thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.